Okay, everyone, so this is the video you've been asking for. I was surprised that you chose this as the video you most wanted to see. But as a homeschool mom of 3, I completely understand the importance of socialization and building your homeschool community. So today I'm going to share with you all of my tips on how to find and grow your homeschool community and help your kids form lasting friendships. This video is sponsored by Band, a free app that you can use to help grow and stay connected with your community. It's got a lot of great features that I think you'll love. So we'll talk more about the Band app a little bit later in the video. Okay, socialization. As much as we like to tell everyone else that this is not a problem for homeschoolers, it's definitely something that we worry about. When your kids are in school, you know that they're seeing other kids 5 days a week, so it's not really something that you have to think about unless they're having a hard time being bullied or not really making any friends. But with homeschooling, you have to actively make sure that your kids are having enough opportunities to build their social skills and make friends. So here are some ways that you can do that. My oldest daughter is 9 and she's never been to school or daycare or anything like that. So here are just some of the things that I did with her. When she was really little, like 2 or 3, I really just did the same kind of things that you would do even if you were planning to send your kids to school. We went to the playground, I set up play dates with friends who had similar age kids, and I even signed her up for a couple of classes just so we had something to do during the week. There was a gym class at a place called My Gym that she really liked. She also went to a group music class. And we also went to a nature class where she basically just played with other kids in the woods. And when she was about 3, she also started dance class, which is eventually where she met one of her best friends. So for the really little kids who wouldn't be in school yet anyway, these are the kind of things that I recommend. You can also visit the library and check out their schedule to see if there are any activities like story time that you can go to. There also might be an activity or a sport through your local rec department, so be sure to check that out too. At this age, they definitely don't need to have their own friends, but they do need to see and get an opportunity to play with other kids, especially if they're the firstborn or an only child. Once they get a little older and other kids their age are starting school, that's the time to find other homeschoolers. For me, at first, the easiest way that I found to do this was by signing my daughter up for classes that were specifically for homeschoolers. And it's really crazy how this has changed in just a few short years. The first class that I found for my oldest daughter when she was about 5 was at a children's museum that was several towns away. It was a great class, but I wish that there had been something closer. Now there are so many options that it's really hard to choose. So depending where you live, you might be surprised at just how many options there are for homeschoolers. This year alone, all my kids took a gym class that was at a local college taught by students who were training to become gym teachers. So that was really cool. My oldest daughter is also in an art class that's once a week that's taught by a local artist. Her favorite class that she's gone to for the past 2 years is a 4-hour nature class where I drop her off and pick her up. That's once a week. We've also recently been going to an open gym, which is at a local gymnastics studio where they have an hour once a week just for homeschoolers to get together, use the gym equipment, and just socialize with each other. And we've had to pass up some classes that sounded really cool, but our schedules were just too full. Like there was an ice skating class. There's also a martial arts class. We keep hearing about things, but we just don't have any extra time. And these are all classes just for homeschoolers that take place during the week while other kids are in school. You probably will have to do a little digging to find these classes. Some type of places that you can check and see if they have anything offered for homeschoolers are places like the library, gymnastics studios, local colleges, nature centers, children's museums, aquariums, martial arts studios, zoos. So you can start there. This is how I started to find our local community of homeschoolers, and it's also how my older daughter started to make friends. You'll start to see some of the same kids at the different classes, so you can get used to who the local homeschooling families are, and that's a nice feeling. So this really is number 1 for me. It's still great to have your kids involved in activities that take place after school or on weekends with kids from public school, like dance or church if you're active in a church community. But if you really want to find your homeschool community, then signing up for classes that are specifically for homeschoolers is really important. You might also want to find a co-op to join for academics as well as socialization. A homeschool co-op is a group of homeschooling families who work together to provide their kids with learning opportunities, socialization, projects, arts and crafts, and more. I don't personally belong to a co-op, but I do belong to a homeschool group that gets together about once a week just to let our kids play together and get to know each other and hang out for a few hours. So at least having something like that where your kids can get together with and get to know the other homeschoolers in your area is really nice. Finding these groups of people might be a little bit more difficult than it was to find the homeschool classes. I found my local homeschool group through Facebook. Just go to the search and type in homeschool and where you live, and you'll probably find several options. You can start with your state or county to find the big groups, and then search more locally for the smaller groups. I also suggest looking on the internet by searching for homeschool in your state. For instance, in my state of Connecticut, we have the Connecticut Homeschool Network. So there's probably something like that for your state as well. You can also check out Classical Conversations, which has groups all over the country, specifically for classical Christian homeschooling. One thing that also makes it easier for homeschool kids to make friends now more than ever is technology. Messenger Kids is a great way for kids to connect when they can't see each other in person. It's really important for kids to be able to keep in touch to maintain their friendships when they don't see each other every day like they would in school. So if you haven't been comfortable allowing technology like this, I suggest you give it some thought because it really will help make your child feel a lot less isolated. My daughter plays Minecraft and Roblox online with several of her friends, which also helps her to get some socializing in even when we're home for the day. Socializing in 2024 might look a little bit different than it did when you were growing up. And I'm not really a big fan of too much screen time, but when it has an important purpose like helping your kids maintain friendships, then I think it's worth it. So now that you're starting to grow your homeschool community, how can you stay connected to other families, plan events like a homeschool prom, or invite other families to meet at the park so your kids can blow off some steam together? Well, you're going to need a group communication app, and the best one that I have found is called Band. Band is a free app that will help you build and grow your community and stay connected so you don't miss any important news or events within the homeschool community. You can download the app completely free and create your own group and then invite members to join. You'll be able to create posts when you have something you want to share with the community, create events such as a trip to the aquarium or a movie night, and view them on a shared calendar, request RSVPs, and even create sign-up sheets. You'll also be able to upload photos and documents and create public or private group chats. It's a great way to keep everyone active and engaged, which is so important when you're homeschooling because our kids really need us to work together and plan events and activities for them. I've even created my own band group just for my viewers. So be sure to check the link in the video description to download Band for free and join my group. So hopefully now you have some ideas on how to find and grow your homeschool community and help your homeschooler make friends. Now, I just want to share a few things that I think might make you feel better about the whole socialization thing. First, I want you to remember that socialization for homeschoolers is going to be very different than socialization for kids who attend traditional schools. If you understand that it will be different, it might help you not to compare too much to the type of socialization that most kids are receiving. It doesn't mean it's better or worse, it's just different. Second, I want to point out some of the positive aspects of homeschool socialization. One thing is that while the quantity of the socialization might be less, the quality is probably going to be much better. Your child will probably have much less of a chance to be bullied or become a bully to others. They also probably won't experience as many of the negative effects of peer pressure as they could in a traditional school setting. And they'll benefit from meeting and interacting with people of all different ages, from all different backgrounds, not just the same 20 kids from their neighborhood day after day, year after year. Third, while there isn't yet a ton of research out there, the research that we do have is positive. Homeschool kids tend to experience less emotional turmoil, are more civically engaged as adults, have stronger relationships with their parents and other adults in their lives, and are generally content, hopeful, and report high levels of satisfaction with their lives. So while I don't want you to think that socialization isn't important, because it is, I just don't want you to think that you have to try to replace 30 or so hours that your child would have seen other kids if they were in a traditional school. As long as they do get out of the house and see other kids regularly, are involved in activities outside the home, and form at least a few meaningful friendships, they're going to be fine. But nobody can tell you more than your own child, so just ask them. Would they like more opportunities to see other kids and make friends? If so, you can make that happen for them. Or maybe they're perfectly content the way things are. We're all different and we all have different needs in this area, so it's really important to find out what your own children's needs are. I'm willing to bet that most of the grown homeschoolers who complain about having felt isolated when they were growing up were never asked by their parents if they would like more opportunities to get out of the house and make friends. If you have any questions about the Band app and how you can use it in your homeschool community, please let me know in the comments and I will be happy to answer. And of course, if you have anything that you want to ask about socialization or just homeschooling in general, I'm always here to help. Thank you so much for watching.